Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to the Universal Temple for the Sun, Planet, Moon, and Stars. I be your Lord of Hosts, Lord Messiah. And today we're going into the resurrection, the science of resurrection. And let me state off the back that this is not any way, shape, or form pornography or anything like that. This is representing the science of life. You know what I mean? And this is how our ancestors showed it. And this is what it is. This ain't no, this ain't nothing weird. You know what I'm saying? So pardon me. Let me correct this here. This is episode. Yeah, I think I might have labeled it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gotta be 5. It's 5. All right. Well, if this is the wrong episode, I apologize for that, y'all. But so let's go into it. So you see right here, right? And this is part of the what I broke down. I said rise of the Kundalini. And now you see the symbolism. This is going into the book of a picture's worth a million words. And as you can see, I say rise of the Kundalini because Kundalini is a serpent energy that lies in the base of the spine or coiled in what we call the root chakra. You know what I mean? And I drew that down because as you can see, you see the snake going around, right? Or the serpent going around, right? And now let's break this down, right? So what do we see? So now the serpent, right? The serpent equals the Kundalini energy, or symbolic, of the Kundalini energy rising from the root chakra. The root chakra is located at the base of the spine. You know what I mean? And that root chakra is in tune with the gonads or the reproductive organs of the man, which would be the testicles, and then the reproductive organs for the woman, which would be her ovaries. So now you see, like I said, it's not pornography because I'm gonna show, you see the penis or the phallus here, fully erect. As I was mentioning in the last text, we spoke about the phoenix. The Tekken or the obelisk, which is planted in Washington, D.C. in what they call St. Peter's Square. And they got the circle surrounding the obelisk, which represents the womb, and then the obelisk going up, representing Asar, the resurrection of Asar. Because the science of, Asar, Aset, and Heru, or Osiris, Isis, and Horus, Asar was the godfather who went into the underworld, and Heru was to avenge his father's death or to resurrect his father. And the story of them bringing the bird, and as you see a bird right here next to the penis, the science of them bringing the bird and resurrecting the phallus of Asar, reassembling the 14 pieces of Asar, that was chopped up in the sarcophagus. He was set up by his brother, Set. Same story with Set and Horus. Or Horus. Horus represents the horizon. Set represents the sunset. So there's a constant battle between Horus and Set, or the light and the dark. In the day, they say the light would conquer Set and take him into the underworld, and then in the night, the Set would conquer the light and take him in, into the dark. That the dark would conquer the light, and then the light would conquer the lights, the dark. So it's a constant battle, back and forth, what they call the yin and yang as well. So also you see the sun. The sun is right above the phallus. Showing improvement. Like I say, in the morning as the sun rises, so does your phallus, because you're in tune with the sun. As men, our root chakra is in tune with the sun. For the woman, her chakra is in tune with the moon. That's why her menstrual cycle is in tune with the moon cycle. Our resurrection is in tune with the sun. So resurrection, you see, resurrection equals rebirth of life, reproduction of oneself. So you see right here on his chest, you see that the X, and as Ashra Kwesi pointed out, the letter X represented resurrection. We also know it represents the unknown, but it also represents resurrection. You know what I'm saying? And it could because like resurrection also too. When the gates of heaven open up, so to speak, this is where they get the science, right? Look at. You ever notice how when you go over the railroad, you know what I'm saying, and you see how the gates open up? What symbol do you see right before you cross over the railroad? You see that X, right? You see that symbol of the X right there, You know what I'm saying? Above the thing, the resurrection. So now that's symbolic. And then the gates open. And when the gates open, then you can pass through. See what I'm saying? Symbolic of how they said in the Bible, oh, Peter is sitting at the gates of Peter is sitting at the gates of heaven, at the pearly gates, the pearly white gates of heaven. Peter is gonna be there, and he's gonna have the list like Santa Claus, and he's gonna write down all the deeds that you did, and he's gonna ask you, hey, did you do this? You did that, and and then he's gonna decide whether you get into heaven or not. No, that's all stolen stories, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? So that X right there on his chest representing the resurrection. Like I said, when you go through the railroad or you see the railroad tracks, when you see the X right there, and then when the gates open up, you can pass through. And after you pass through, the gates close down. And when the gates are closed, that's because the train is going through. The train is going through. There's already something on that track. There's already something going in there. Just like a man, you could go into, a woman could open up her legs or open up her gates, as Dr. Ben said. The heaven is between the legs of a black woman. A woman can open up her heaven to you. She can open up the gates of heaven to you. But if another God already made it to that heaven and planted his seed, and there's already a track on that, or there's already a train on that track, or there's already a baby in there, you can go into there, but you're not going to plant another baby. You're not going to bring another life forth. You're not going to bring another resurrection. You're not going to be resurrected because she's already pregnant. See what I'm saying? Don't that make sense? So this is why, like I say, when the gates go down and the lights start blinking, oh man, isn't that so deep and symbolic? The lights start blinking. That's just like when a woman is pregnant. That means that the semen has went through the fallopian tubes, and there's two fallopian tubes symbolic to the gates, and once this has made it to the egg, then those eggs shut down because it has an egg already penetrated. Once that egg penetrated, it made it through all those other egg, once the semen penetrates, it made it to the egg, it penetrates, and then now the fallopian the eggs have to drop and all that, and the whole process is so forth. Oh, and then the eggs come down. Isn't that deep? Meaning like the gates come down and it closes, meaning now that seed that's taken over that womb, he's starting his process, and the body is going through a whole new change. Like I say, the red lights are flashing, the period might stop, because ain't that a symbol that tells you to stop? No more motion, stop. The red lights are blinking, they're flashing, stop. So now all motion is stopped because the process is taking place. The train has to go through and make it to its destination, meaning the seed has to be cultivated and make it to its destination. So, And then when the delivery, then the gates open back up. Then when the gates open up, the train is passed through, the baby is born, and then it's delivered to the doctor, and that goes into a whole nother science right there, but I ain't gonna get into that one. But yeah, but you see what I'm saying? So that's the science right there. And now you see the sun, and then you see above the sun, you see the a beetle, but this is really Khepera. And Khepera means to create oneself. Khepera was another creator god, to create oneself. Khepera, and also Khepera was the god of transformation. The god of transformation. So, and you can see somebody right here, like on the wall. These glyphs is deep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just showing you what I see in it. You know what I'm saying? And what I break down. I'm not freestyling either, because you can confer this with many other scholars, and they'll tell you the same thing. So, so yeah, like I put on the side too. This is not pornography, but the science of life. You know what I mean? And like I say, this represents the resurrection. So now, the sun, RZA in his rhyme, he said, sun rises. All right, sun rises. Penis, as the sun rises, your penis rises in the morning. The serpent rises, the kundalini, known as serpent energy. So in other words, like, sometimes you call your third leg or your snake or whatever, rises, whatever. And it's like a serpent, it's rising because of the kundalini energy. And now RZA said in his rhyme, he said, my penis rises in the morning like a phoenix, and my penis rises in the morning like a phoenix, and blast sperm cells into a low-blooded anemic. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of women are anemic and whatnot, low on iron and all of that. And he said, I blast sperm cells into a low-blooded anemic, meaning the sperm cells got iron and all that good stuff, that nutrients you're gonna need. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but the major part was my penis rises in the morning like a phoenix. So symbolic of, like I showed, the phoenix bird, you know what I'm saying, with the wingspan and the sun above his head. And the phoenix was a bird that flew highest in the sky. And it also represents, and more so of a resurrection, but an ascension, meaning to rise above, just like your penis does. So he said, my penis rises in the morning like a phoenix. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, in the morning, because it's symbolic to the sun. And that whole process is an X or a resurrection. A resurrection of the sun, symbolized by the erection of the penis. Resurrection is also reproduction. You know what I mean? So just like, quite natural when you see that beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying? What happens, fellas? You know what happens. You know what I'm saying? You know what happens. You know what takes place. You know what I'm saying? That resurrection starts to occur. You know what I mean? And you might see that. You might see her as maybe that woman that you want to resurrect yourself in. You might see that woman that you want to kepara. You know what I mean? You want to transform self through. You know what I mean? So, on that note, y'all, I mean, this has been another episode, you know what I mean, of A Picture's Worth a Million Words. And we're going to come back on the next episode. I think this might have been episode 5 or 6. I'm going to get it right, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to correct it if this wasn't right. But I'll see y'all next time. Peace.